fix myself. What's up, y'all? Hold on, let me fix myself. What's up, everybody? Tasha checking in with another video. And this video is going to be a review for Love is Blind Season 6, Episode 12. If it's your first time getting into the Redefine Me channel, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, okay? So let me fix my little tripod and stuff, y'all. And only reason it always moves, y'all probably like, Tasha, why don't you just keep it in the same place? Because I end up, and then my shirt is acting crazy. I end up moving it because where I record at, I don't want to leave it right there. So every time I move it, it shifts a little bit and all of that. But y'all ain't come here for that. Let's get into the review, okay? If I had to give this review on a scale of 1 to 10, this episode, a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 5. It was just lackluster. We gonna get into it. I just am so annoyed and irritated, and I'm gonna give y'all all my notes and pointers, y'all. If I look down, y'all know I take notes for every review that I do, okay? So let's get started. All right, so first couple up on the chopping block is going to be Jimmy and Chelsea, okay? So y'all know last week they was doing their final date, their final come together and everything before they're about to get married. And so Jimmy and Chelsea, they decided to go to an amusement park. They shut down the whole park. They shut down Carowinds, and they decided to go and get on roller coasters and have the whole park to themselves and all of that. Then at the end of the day, they decided to have dinner. At this particular dinner, the last episode left off with Jimmy asking Chelsea, do you think that we are going to get married? And then it cut, right? So now this episode, they're still sitting at the table. He's still asking her that question. Child, Chelsea said that she thinks that they are moving in the right direction, that they going to get married. She's like, she's in it. She's here. She's happy. She's ready to get married to Jimmy, right? Child, Jimmy shocked me. Now, I don't know if Jimmy shocked y'all with this comment, but he definitely shocked me, okay? He said that she is his person. She is his person. He loves her to death. However, he cannot meet her at the altar and marry her. I say, you have got to be kidding. And I was kind of like, yay, Jimmy. But at the same time, I felt like Jimmy had gaslit her a little bit because so they was doing ice sculptures because they said they wanted to have that at the wedding, a little carved ice of his last name. I think it starts with a P. And so they was doing that together. Remember that? They was doing that a few episodes ago. Even Chelsea brought up that they had picked out music for the reception the day before. And then they had this beautiful day at the park where they was vibing. They've been vibing for the past couple of days in a good place. And all of a sudden, he goes and says, I can't marry you. Like, I can't do it. So his reason is, right? So he brought up Chelsea yelling out, look at the strongest couple at the cookout when Amy and Johnny was, kissing and having their moment. So he was just, he brought that up. And I said, I know he's not about to not marry her because of that. But again, Chelsea put her foot in her mouth. He said that's just one of the reasons, right? Chelsea was like, why'd you waste my time? Why we had this whole great day? And she was like, we was picking out reception songs. I think Jimmy was playing with her, like I said before, and he was just like, there's been a plethora of things. Jimmy's the type of person that would try to move on from something, in my opinion, but he just can't let it go. He's like, these things are the reasons. He said, I told you something in confidence about a friend that he had slept with one of his friends. He said, you put that out in front of the public. I told you off camera. He said, when I went out for an hour, you was drunk, you acted crazy then. Like, let's not act like Chelsea has not been showing us why Jimmy had a valid reason in saying he did not want to marry her, right? What else happened? She said she cannot tell him things all the time because he might blow up. And so Jimmy was like, well, what are you talking about? What will I might blow up about? She never brought it up, right? So I guess she was just trying to, again, say it's not all me, it's you. Because she has a way of doing that. Like if she does something, she's like, well, I need to do this, but you also need to do this. And it's like, no, Chelsea, it is just you. What else? I said that. He said it was several things. He said it was wrong of her to embarrass his friend on national TV, bringing that up when he told her that he slept with his friend in confidence. He said that was wrong of her to bring it up, right? So he said that is one of the reasons too. Chelsea said to him that she thinks he's making excuses and everything, and he said he's not. He said he not feeling her. He said he thought about it, he's set with it, and as it was approaching, I think it was the day before or 2 days before when he told her this, that he didn't want to get married, he set with it, and he probably made a pros and cons list, and his cons list probably outweighed the pros, and he was like, you know what, I can't do it. In my opinion, I was thinking to myself, Jimmy, why you hold everything in until now? Like, why didn't you tell her, like, you waited 2 days before y'all about to get married, and then you want to tell her that you don't want to marry her because of all of these things? In my opinion, if it was me, I would have came out and I would have told Chelsea, what it was, every time something happened, But again, it's his choice. And I'm glad he didn't make her get all ready, hype her up, have her family there, get her to the altar, then let her down. He said, let me take her to the amusement park and let her down there, right? So after she, he tells her this, she gets so emotional. She says she has so much hope for them. She's like, I had so much hope for us. And then she walks away and she cries and everything. And Jimmy is sitting there like, I couldn't do it. And so that's the end of Jimmy and Chelsea. They did not get married. Okay. So remember, we had 3 couples. We had Jimmy and Chelsea, AD and Clay, and Amy and Johnny. And we're going to go over who got married, who didn't get married. So Jimmy said, I'm not even about to meet you at the altar in your white dress. Shout out to Blackstreet. He said, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Moving on. That was the end of them. We get to AD and Amy, right? They aren't going because they're the last 2 standing. They are having a bachelorette party. They're in their white. They're walking into the bachelorette party. Here's the reason, y'all, I decided to wear white, because this was the wedding episode. So they walking into their bachelorette party and stuff, and they, with their bridal party, and they about to turn up, right? And then we pan over to Clay and Johnny. They're the last 2 standing of the men. They're going into their bachelor party, and they about to turn up. AD and Amy, they go up to the side and they start talking, and we find out that Amy and Johnny has not had sex. AD says, girl, ain't no way that I could buy the car without test driving. I'm like, of course, AD, but we're going to see what happens to AD for her not holding out. I believe if she would have held out, it would have been a different outcome. But then again, it is Clay, and he likes to be a manipulator, and he is confused, can't make up his mind. And so, yeah, I still don't think it would have been a different outcome. But anyway, back to them. Amy has a tattoo. If y'all notice on this episode, the camera zoomed in. She had a tattoo on her arm of Johnny. Now, I don't know if it was a rub-on tattoo. I hope it was, but it was a tattoo of him. And I looked, I was like, is that a tattoo with Johnny? I said, child, ain't no way. I couldn't do it. Clay, we pan over to the men. Clay is talking to his friend. He said he's willing to go to war for AD. He said he loves that she accepts his flaws, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know how I feel about Clay. I feel like he's a used car salesman. He's just going to manipulate you, gaslight you, and tell you all these sweet nothings. Hence the word nothings, because what he says is nothing out of his mouth. Clay and Johnny end up coming together, having a moment. They're having a drink. They're both saying they gave 100% into the process, and this is the outcome of what they got. So then we get down to Cedar Creek Ranch is where the wedding is going to be, and we start with AD and Clay. I think both of the weddings were there. We start with AD and Clay. She says she is so excited. She's the first of her seven siblings to get married. I'm like, dang, out of 7 kids, ain't none of them married. I said, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody has to be married, right? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, out of 7 kids, ain't you the first one to get married, and then you're getting married in the most unorthodox way, like going on this show and everything? It is just kind of like, wow. I need to know more about that. Why is that so? But anyway, they played back the pause with her being in the pause with Clay, and I noticed something when they played it back. Clay had his Bible open. Remember, he was reading the scripture to her, and he had a book inside of the Bible, so he wasn't reading directly from the Bible. Now, I don't know if he wrote it down or maybe he memorized the scripture or what happened, but he was looking at it like he was reading it. But I noticed it was a little book in there, and I'm just like, Clay is manipulator of the year. What else? Let's go on. So AD is there. Her sisters show up. They're all getting ready. We pan over to Clay. Clay's brothers and friends showed up. They are getting ready. AD, before she did her makeup, yeah, okay. AD, I looked it up. She's about 33, 34 years old or something. She looks so old around her eyes. Like, she was real puffy, and they were real like sunken and just dried up and dark or whatever. And I'm just like, what is going on there? Like, AD, I'm 41 and I don't have that real big puff and all of that going on around my eyes. Not throwing shade at her, but it's just something I observed, and I was just like, what's going on? Is that because you wear so much makeup or what it is? I don't know, but it looked real crazy. AD said Clay's mom is real. Okay, that's who. Okay, hold on, y'all. Back up. Okay, back up. So AD mom arrives, and this is what AD mom is saying. AD mom said that she met somebody, and AD was like, who'd you meet? And she was like, I met Clay's mom. She said she likes Clay's mom. Clay's mom is real. She said if she could have picked anyone to be her mother-in-law, that's the woman that she would have picked. And AD, she agrees that Clay's mom is a real one. We're gonna talk about that. Clay is over. We pan over to him in the groom's quarters, and Clay is making his 500th salesman's pitch speech. Saying he fell in love in the pause. I was here for Josh's friend, Clay's friend Josh. He said he talked about them being a team, and he gave Clay some really heartfelt words that I think was very much needed. Let's get over to, okay, we pan back over to AD in the woman's quarters, in the bridal suite. I'm just curious why AD didn't take the ring out her nose. Like, I don't know. Is the hole going to close up? Did you just get it? I felt like that ring being in her nose took away from the whole elegance of a bride, the whole vibe of the bride. So I don't know why she didn't take that out. I didn't like that. We finally get to see Clay's dad. And we have been waiting to see the man that took Clay on these infidelity trips, right? We finally see his dad. Child, his dad was not nothing major to look at, okay? Maybe because the man got old, but I'm like, this the dude is sitting up here cheating on the mom and doing all these infidelity trips and all this other stuff that he was doing. What? So we meet him, and we see where Clay gets his manipulative speech making, sales pitching personality from. That would be his dad. Clay's dad said that his dad wasn't much of a father. He wasn't present in his life and all of that. And so now we get to understand that it's a generational thing. Clay's dad Clay's dad did not have a father to properly educate him, school him, raise him up in the way that a man should be. And so Clay's dad, of course, didn't know how to treat a woman, be a real man, be raised up as a man himself, because he didn't have that example. Now Clay's dad had passed that down to Clay, and now we see the product of this generational curse of men that is not being there for their sons. And this is why it's so important, y'all. Like, sidebar, it's so important for fathers to be involved in their children's lives. It's important for parents in general to be involved. But the father is the head of the household. The father is the one that sets things in order, or is supposed to. It's supposed to love and give rules and be there and show support, but also rule with the iron fist, but one out of love. Like, the father is supposed to give you tokens of wisdom and all of those things, teaching you how to be, have chivalry and everything like that. Like, fathers are so important. Hello, Alan Morales. Thank you for joining the live. Hello. So fathers are important, and the fact that Clay didn't have that, and then his father didn't have that, and so we understand why they are the way that they are. So men, if any men come across my live, please be present in your children's lives, because it is so important. It's so important. So let's move on. He's, because of that, because Clay's father did not have an example, I feel that's why he did not know how to treat. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. Alan says, I will subscribe. Yay! Make sure you also like the video. Thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate it. So we understand why Clay's dad didn't know how to treat Clay's mother, because he didn't have an example from his own father. Clay said the talk that he is having with his father at this moment is the deepest talk that he has ever had with his dad. And I thought that was sad. That was so, thank you for the hearts. I think that was so sad. Out of Clay's whole life, right now was the deepest conversation that he ever had with his dad. Clay says he looked up to his dad's suaveness, right? His dad was suave, and he liked the ladies, and he was able to talk a woman out of her garments and all of that. Like, he looked up to that part of his father. Thank you for the hearts. And I thought that was sad. I'm like, Dad, that's all you could say you look up to your dad on the fact that he was a suave guy? Then we pan back over to AD. Clay and his dad walk out. They're getting ready for the wedding. We pan over to AD. AD's dress. Now, some people gave AD flack about her dress, right? And if y'all don't know how to dress look, y'all need to go look on Google it, because they do have pictures of it. But it was beautiful, okay? It fit her. To me, it fit her good. Now, what I would have done was kind of made the slit on the dress down a little more. Thank you so much for all the love. I see it on the side, the hearts and everything. I would have sewed the slit down some. The slit was a little bit too high. It came all the way up to her hoo-ha. You could see all the way up there. So she should have sewed the slit down. But other than that, I feel like the dress fit her to a T. It was sexy. It was elegant. It was really cute. I loved it. Now, y'all can drop in the comments how y'all felt about her dress. The decoration of the wedding. Oh my gosh. Love is Blind. Whoever your interior decorator was, or your wedding planner for these weddings, they did an amazing job. Oh my gosh. Clay and AD's wedding decor was beautiful. Okay, I absolutely loved it. Her mom, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm looking at my nose, y'all. I'm so sorry. So we get her mom looked beautiful in her dress. Her mom understood the assignment of the wedding. She had on a gold looking dress. It was kind of a little bling in it. Her mom looked great. AD's mom. Clay's mom, when we get to them, Clay is about to walk down to see this mom. Clay's mom did not bring it. Clay's mom didn't give me wedding. You know what I'm saying? She just looked like she was just going out to a nice dinner. Like, I feel feel like if you are the mothers of the bride or the groom, and if you are in a wedding, you're supposed to give it. You're supposed to have your makeup good, your dress good, and everything. You're supposed to give it. Now, AD mom understood the assignment. She was giving everything that she was supposed to give, right? And so we get to Clay's sister. Clay's sister was sitting on the front row. Now, she was sitting beside the dad, and I was like, who is that woman, Harpo, sitting beside the dad? I thought it was one of the dad's hoes or something. That's what I thought. But it wasn't. It was Clay's sister. I said, why does his sister look like she just came from the club and said, oh yeah, my brother getting married today? Child, her hair was all over her head. Her tattoos was all showing. She had piercings on both sides of her nose. She had a drink in her hand and she was sitting there leaned over and everything like she had a hangover. I said, child, y'all should have put her in the back by the cameraman because she looked a whole hot mess, okay? I did not like it. I was like, oh God, what is wrong with Clay's sister? They had violins playing at the wedding. It was beautiful. I love an instrumental. Like, I love instrumentals. My favorite one to have played at a wedding would actually be a harp. I wanted a harp at my wedding, but you know, baby, the budget was budgeting. So couldn't have that. But they had the violins, okay? Clay mom looks at AD mom. AD mom is getting emotional. She looks across from her before AD walks down and she's like, we got this. We worked for this and all of this. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, y'all didn't work for nothing. So I don't know what you're talking about, lady, but moving on. So let's talk about this, right? We pan over, we see AD's bridal party, right? The sisters go down, the flower girls go down and all of that. Why in the world did they have AD's plus size sister with this dress on that was not fit for her body? Let's talk about it. I'm a plus size chick, right? I love myself. I don't have no problem with the way I look. However, I make sure that the clothing that I put on does not look trash, does not make me look even bigger, does not make me look just tasteless. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be plus size and still look beautiful. I don't know if maybe it wasn't in the budget for them. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I don't know if it wasn't in the budget for them to get her a different type of dress because she was plus size, but she looked horrible. I mean, you turn to the side, the cameraman panned to the side, you can see her breast was hanging down, her stomach was hanging down, she had no bra on, the butt was up. I was like, child, I don't know what's going on. I feel like they really painted a horrible picture of the plus size sister, and I didn't like it. I did not like that. That was horrible. We get to AD walking down the aisle. She walks by herself because y'all know her father is deceased. So AD walks down the aisle. She gets up there to the altar. Clay is standing up there. I don't know why AD mom didn't walk down with her. There is no rule that says the father has to walk the bride. My sister, when she got married, my mom walked her down the aisle. So I don't understand why the mom didn't walk AD. That was kind of weird to me. So AD gets up there with Clay, and then Clay, the pastor, is talking and everything, you know, giving his words. It's time for y'all to make a decision, all that stuff like that. Then Clay starts talking. I don't even think the pastor asked for the vows, or maybe I missed it. But I don't even think it was more so vows. It was just him talking. He just was talking about how they were together and everything, and he loves her and blah, blah, and all this other stuff. And I was just like, Clay, be quiet. Then AD went on and she gave some words. So I guess it was a fitting moment, right? So then the pastor, he goes and he asks AD first, do you take, you know, Clay to be your husband, blah, 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 all the vows that go into it. AD, of course, said, I do. And then he turns to Clay and he asks Clay, and Clay, in true Clay fashion, says that he does not think it is responsible for him to say yes. He is not ready to be a husband. I say, you have got to be kidding me. First of all, Clay, it couldn't have been me. Because as soon as you said that, I would have smooched you on the side of your head and pushed you down them steps. Because you sat up here and had me go and put this dress on. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all ain't never put on a wedding dress, the things that women have to go through to get into them dresses. And they are hot under there, and it is Spanx and all these strings and buttons and child, and then you go and get your hair done and your makeup, and you doing all this glamorization to get down there and meet your future husband. And you go through all this, you walking in these shoes that might be uncomfortable, child, and she get down there, and then you turn around and say no. I would punch him in the face. I am not an advocate. Let me say this. Redefine Me channel is not an advocate for violence, but because he did that to her, I would have had to punch him. I'd have like, not the way I'm looking and feeling, and no, sir. So he said he couldn't do it, right? And I'm like, but why? You know, what's funny is that AD is one of those women like we see in the world today that want to be a wife. Oh, pick me, I want to be a wife. And the man is giving you all these red flags that he don't want to be with you. On the previous episodes, Clay was telling AD, he was telling her in the most open, blunt way possible that he was not ready to be a husband. And she was just like, okay, She ain't asked no questions. She ain't said we can work on it. She just kept trying to say, well, we're going to get through it. Okay. No, he kept telling you episode after episode after episode that he was not ready to be a husband, and you just kept ignoring it. And then when you get to the altar and he said no, here she goes. She's looking at him and she's like, Clay. She all whispering, Clay, what the F? WTF? What are you talking about, Clay? Child, let's move on. So, after that, when she says Clay, and she's like, what are you doing? He says, why does it matter at this time? And she's like, don't do that. Because see, what Clay was trying to say is, why does it matter that they get married right then and there, right? He was just saying that, he needed to work on himself or whatever. But Clay, you knew that you were not ready to commit to a marriage before you started on this show. You should have never came on this show. You took up a space that another contestant could have had that really wanted to put their all in all into it. No, you get on this show, you sit up here and hype this girl up, and then get to the altar and say no. When you could have told her that weeks before the wedding. Child, he get on my daggone nerves. I can't stand Clay. If I ever see Clay in the street, I would let him know, boy, you are the worst. The picture you painted to us on Love is Blind, you're a horrible individual. Let's move on. So, AD is emotional, right? She walks off. Clay is standing up there. She gives the mom a hug. If y'all look at my thumbnail of this video, that is what is happening on the thumbnail. She's give Clay's mom a hug. Her mom has got her hand, and they are walking off. She gets to the bridal quarters, and she is crying and emotional. She's questioning herself, like, what did I do wrong? What's going on? And unfortunately, women do this a lot. When a man does something, when he breaks your heart, when something doesn't work out, the first thing you do is say, what's wrong with me? Maybe I should have lost more weight. Maybe I should have spoke different. Maybe I should have wore my hair different. Maybe I should have wore less makeup. We start looking at ourselves like we're the problem, right? When it wasn't her that was the problem. Clay's parents, I'm just going to say this. Clay's parents messed him up. I know a lot of people is here for Clay's mom, right? They love Clay's mom. I feel that they messed him up. Yes, your children become adults, right? You raise them up the best way you can. When they become adults, they choose their own path. However, the foundation of when you're raising them is what makes them become the adult that they're going to transition into. Clay's dad cheated on the mom at year number 7 of their marriage. She stayed with this man until year 24 of their marriage. They were married for 24 years, and this man cheated on her starting at year 7. Okay? Then he took Clay with him on cheating excursions. When he would go over to other women's houses or wherever he would meet them, he took Clay with them. The dad did a disservice because he showed Clay how to have a horrible marriage, how to be have an infidelity within the marriage. He showed Clay how a man doesn't treat a woman. He showed Clay all these bad things. While he was taking him with him, he was being all suave, and so he was showing Clay, this is how you should act as a man. Then the mom is no better, because she showed Clay that a woman will stick it out with a man no matter what. She damaged her son. If she was a real mother, the mother who protect their children and love their children, want the best for their children, she would have chose to leave that dad alone. Even if you didn't know that he was cheating on you, and I don't believe that, because I believe God has given women intuition, which means that we know when something ain't up. I don't believe she had no clue that the dad was cheating. She did a disservice to her son as well. She should have left that man alone, talked to her son, and let him know that is not the way you treat a man. I'm being a woman, I'm leaving, I'm taking the kids, and I'm moving on, and I'm going to choose to be happy and peaceful and grow with somebody who's going to love me and not cheat on me. But instead, you stuck around and let your son witness this horrible marriage. So both of the parents messed him up. I don't care what nobody say. Drop in the comments if y'all feel differently. That's what I feel. Because a lot of other content creators is talking about how Clay's mom is the MVP, how she cool, blah, 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 and all this stuff. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not saying she's a bad woman, but I'm just saying she is equally responsible for the downfall of how Clay is as a man at this point, just as much as his dad is. She is an equal participant. He just wanted to be on the show, in my opinion. Clay just wanted to be on the show. He didn't want to really marry no AD. He wanted to build his social media platform and be on the show. And that's it. He said that when he looked in the mirror at himself, he was not deeply in love with AD and he wasn't ready to be a husband. Sir, then why keep telling her you loved her? Why did you have sex with this woman? Why did you sit up here and come on this show and ask her to marry you and go through all of these ups and downs, ins and outs, only to sit up here and say that you're not deeply in love with her and you're not ready to be a husband? Ridiculous. And then y'all, he was like talking to his dad, and he was like, should he go and talk to AD? I said, you better not go and talk to AD. Listen, his dad was like, well, you need to at least be cordial or whatever. Cordial? He just told me no at the altar. I don't want to see you anymore. I don't even want to talk to you. So he does go up there in AD's bridal quarters and he talks to her and he's up here hugging her and she's kissing him back and he's kissing her and he's just like, I'm not going anywhere. I just wasn't ready to be married. I need to go get therapy and all this stuff. And AD is sitting up here eating it up. Had it been me, I would have said, get out of my freaking bridal quarter. As soon as he would have came up on the step, I would have been like, out, get out, do not come up here. But she allowed him to come in. He said he not rejecting her, and she up here whispering to him. She whispering Thomason, what I gotta do now? I'm like, girl, you gonna pick yourself up and carry on and find somebody who loves you. He says he's not leaving her and all of that, and I'm just like, dude, so you thought you was gonna break up with her and then turn around and just still date her? Like, that's not the way this works. That's not the way this works. Now, I've heard through the YouTube streets that they were kind of seeing each other or still together or whatever, but we will see on the reunion. The reunion comes on Wednesday, and we shall see what's happening then. But y'all, I would have told him to kick rocks, okay? Then we get to Clay's mom and dad, which I feel like this scene was unwarranted, but I guess they want to put it in because they needed some more footage to get the show popping because we only had 2 weddings. So Clay mom and dad is down there talking, and Clay's really Clay mom was just like, this is what happens when you do certain things to your son, and he ends up having this breakdown because he witnessed how toxic our marriage was. And so the dad is up here listening to her, but he just kind of not going to take accountability for it. You can see it all in his face. And the dad going to make a comment and say, well, he should have chose somebody like his mom, like you. And the mom was like, well, you had somebody like me, but you didn't know how to treat me. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, ooh. She she got the dad together on that one, because it was like, you telling him to find somebody like the mom. Why? Because you had somebody, you had the mom, and you didn't know how to treat her. So anyway, we get off of them. Um, we get off of them because when they were talking, he did say he apologized, right? And the mom said, I already know you apologized. I had forgiven you a long time ago. However, the mom was kind of like, it was certain stuff that I didn't find out until this process has started, which was when he took Clay on them infidelity trips. So she felt the way about that, even though she says, we not together. It is what it is. Moving on. Clay dad was telling her, his father wasn't around. The mom is saying she forgive him. She understand the father wasn't around. But she's just like, we can't put our stuff on our son, which is true. He has to live his own life, and he has to not know that he has to know that marriage is not a toxic thing. But that's going to take some time for him, because if he never got the therapy and help that he needed to realize that a marriage is not that way, then he's not ever going to be ready to get married. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me get. Okay, all right. Okay. So we get back to Clay and AD. I'm sorry, I had to look at my notes. We get back to Clay and AD. They're still talking. And then she's like, well, I need to go about my business. And he is going to ask her, do I have to leave? I said, what is going on, Clay? Are you on drugs? Like, I have never seen a man, and I've watched some of these shows before, Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, all this, and they do have men on here that gaslit the women and really treat them like trash. But Clay is sitting up here talking about, does he have to leave? Dude, you just left her at the altar, basically. Yes, you have to leave. Are you crazy? And she told me some, yes, you have to leave. Then she says she feel like she keeps getting close to getting married and close to her happily ever after, but it never comes through for her. She says she's tired of carrying men. She says, why does it never happen for her? Again, blaming herself. And I'm like, AD, you have to understand that timing is everything. God's timing is everything, right? I didn't get married until I was 40 years old. And I truly thought that it wasn't going to happen for me. I just thought that I was just going to, get a dog and just live my life single and just be a mom to a puppy and a mom to my daughter and just live single life, right? That's what I thought. However, I prayed and I asked God and I believed God that he was going to send my husband. I didn't know that it was not going to be until I was 40 years old. But guess what? That was the timing for God when he says, okay, you're ready to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? So it's about timing, AD. Just because it didn't happen for you at this moment doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. One thing you have to do, and this is for AD and all the women, you have to love yourself. You have to pray and ask God for the man that you want. You have to love yourself. You have to make sure you keep your appearance up, that you speak well, that you put yourself in circles of the type of men that you want. And you have to believe God for it and have faith and live your life. It's nothing wrong with being single. You can travel, you can do things, you can have a great single life. Don't be so hung up on getting married that you miss out on all the great things about being single. And that's to AD and to all the women that come across this video. Enjoy your single life. But at the end of the day, know that God is going to bless you in his timing when you're ready. Okay, when you are ready to have it. However, even if you don't get married, don't feel bad. There are a lot of women that don't get married and they live a great life, a happy life, and they enjoy themselves. And that's how you just need to feel, AD. Unfortunately, it's like a desire of her heart, like a lot of women, but don't sit up here and just settle for anything just because you really want that happily ever after experience, right? So AD is emotional. She leaves in her dress and everything. She's in a car crying. Clay didn't have one emotion. One emotion. He kept saying this is an emotional moment. He didn't have one emotion. And y'all want to know what? I knew he was going to say no. I knew he was going to say no to her when she turned the corner to come down the aisle. Now, most men, and I mentioned this to friends that I talk about with this show, most men, when they see their women, with their woman coming, the bride coming down the altar, they get emotional because she's stunning, she's beautiful. This is an occasion. I love her. I'm finally gonna have her as my wife and all of that. So most men get emotional. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Sidebar: at my wedding, when I got ready to come down the aisle, my husband cried, and he said weeks before, he was like, I ain't gonna cry. I ain't gonna cry, no punk. Soon as my husband saw me at the beginning, when I was about to walk down the aisle, he started crying. I was like, oh. So the fact that Clayton had no form of emotion when he saw AD, I knew he was going to say no. I said, this dude going to say no. But anyway, we gonna get off of Clay and AD. I say AD for real, girl. If you not with him no more, you dodged a bullet. Because he is not the one. He is not the one that God has for you. He is not. He is definitely not. And you move on and you find somebody, or let somebody find you that's really going to value, love, and treat you right. Okay, so moving on. Amy and Johnny's wedding. Y'all. Amy and Johnny, their wedding was beautiful. Let's get started. Amy got to her bridal room. She has Johnny's sister that's going to be a part of her wedding party. She was getting ready and everything. Then Johnny got to his groom's quarters and he was like, oh, this looks great, looks like a man cave. All of his friends and family was over there. I love Johnny and Amy's relationship because they are the definition of what Love is Blind is all about, in my opinion. Now, some stuff did come out about Johnny possibly having a child and everything like that. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm sure if it is, it'll come to light. But as far as I'm concerned, what they showed me on this show was the definition of Love is Blind. Like, they really seem like a really happy, good couple. Johnny spoke so beautifully about Amy to his friends and family. See, he spoke in a way that I believed him and knew that he really does love her. Not like Clay when he spoke about AD. He was mainly talking about things that he wants to do when he work on himself without saying it. Like, he was just not talking great, like he was going to really be that man for her. But Johnny, his whole attitude and personality and how he spoke about Amy was beautiful. The sister was doing Amy's makeup, which I thought was cool. Amy's mom and dad came in to see her. Amy's dad, y'all, when he spoke about Amy, I was sitting there watching it like, oh my God, Tasha, do not cry. He spoke such beautiful words about her. Her dad almost made me cry. Like, the moment he shared with the mom and Johnny's sister being there and her sisters, it was just a beautiful, serene, peaceful experience. What else? Let's move on. Johnny's sister's fiance. Okay, so Johnny's sister fiance was going to be officiating the wedding. The decor again for them was beautiful. Now, they had pink and I think white. I'm not a big fan of pink. My daughter is. However, I think whoever did the decor did such a great job. I loved it. The men that walked down in that cream and purple was everything. I said, oh, it was like cream and purple or like a light brown and purple. But whatever it was beautiful. I loved it. Amy, I did not like her dress. I did not like Amy's dress. It gave me like a 15-year-old going to a quinceañera or whatever. I think that's what they do when they have like a rite of passage in the Hispanic community. It just it didn't look very like sexy or chic or wedding type or anything like that. Like, it just didn't give me that. It did not give me that. And then she had a tiara on her head and I was like, what are we, 15? I just didn't like it. I did not like her dress. I felt like she could have did better. But hey, if she liked it, whatever. Her brother, who has autism, and her dad walked her down the aisle. I thought that was a beautiful moment. Y'all already know how she feels about her brother. And she told her brother, thank you for doing this and being there. And he was happy to do it and everything. Amy said she loves Johnny's soul. I said, oh. I said, child, I understand. She said she loves his soul. Oh gosh. If I could sum up how I feel about my husband, right? That is exactly how I feel. I love my husband's soul. Like it's just I'm attracted to my husband too, but his soul of how he is, how we just vibe and have this just when we are able to just sit and talk with each other, like we've been together for 5 years, we're able to sit and talk to each other like we just met all the time. We're able to just lay in the bed and wake up in the morning and play with each other and just my it ain't about me, right? But when she said she loved Johnny so, I understood how she felt. That is exactly how I feel about my husband. And that's how you know that it's love. And I really hope that they work out. You know what I'm saying? I really, really do. Um, the one thing that I was confused about was when they got to the altar and the Johnny's sister's fiance is officiating and the vows that he said for them. I said, what in the world? Did he just it was one sentence. He was like, do you promise to make the home happy? That was their vows. I said, now, wait a minute. How in the world are you giving wedding vows? Because we know the wedding vows to be, do you promise to love, cherish, honor, and all the other stuff that comes along with it. None of that was said. They just said he just said you promise to make the home happy. I said, child, I don't know where he got his officiating license from, but baby, I have never heard any vows that short. She said I do. Johnny said I do. They kissed, and that was the end of the wedding. And I said, dang, wedding was like 20. Wedding was like 5 minutes, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Then we pan back over to AD. I said, child, why? Why? We ended on a high note with Amy and Johnny, but then we pan back over to AD. AD said her love was blind. And I believe AD. I believe it because she never asked how Clay looked. Clay was the one that was wrapped up in looks and all of that. And she said she is not going to continue to date Clay. Someone else will choose her. She is waiting for it to be her turn. And I said, yes, AD. If you really do, if she did say those words and she believes it, I want her to really stand her ground, stick to her guns on that, and really do wait for her turn. Because it is going to be your turn, AD. You just have to wait. But do not go back to Clay. But see, the problem is that she slept with him. When you sleep with somebody and it's that soul tie, and I talked about that before on my channel, that soul tie, that coming together as one. Sex is a very serious thing. I know people just throw it around like it's nothing, but when you have sex with somebody, you end up becoming like this, a bond with that person ensues, right? And so I believe that it's going to be hard for her to shake him because I think, and this is what I think after the show, I believe and know that he reached out to her. And I know that she reached back out to him because she's not over him like that. She, I think, really did love him. Now, him, I don't believe he really loved her. And he even said he wasn't deeply in love with her. I don't even think he had no love for her. He just wanted to make it to the end and be on this show. Because I heard a little birdie said that if they don't make it to the wedding, that they have to pay the show $50,000. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if it is, I believe Clay was like, I ain't trying to pay that money. So this is why I didn't tell her beforehand that I didn't want to be with her. But AD should have said no. I would rather owe them people $50,000 or less, or however much it is, than sit up there and have myself humiliated on TV with this narcissistic, manipulative, bug-eyed looking dude. No, I would have paid it. And then we get to Amy and Johnny. They're at their reception. They're having a good time. Everyone's happy. The family is all hugging. They're saying, welcome to the family. I can't remember the last names, but they were all hugging and loving. And it was a beautiful wedding. It looked like a beautiful reception. And I hope and wish Amy and Johnny all the best, that they stay together. The reunion for this show is going to be March 13th, and I will be there to review the reunion, y'all. And that is my review of Love is Blind Season 6, episode 12, Meet Me at the Altar. If you liked it and you loved it and you love my content and you like, I just love Tasha, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the like button for all my replay watchers. This is what I'm going to say. I am on a push, right? I'm on a push. By the end, I'm sorry, y'all, if I keep pulling this shirt because I have big boobs and I don't want to be flashing. I don't want nobody to be like, child, I saw it was booby. Like, I love the shirt and I wanted to wear white because I was doing the wedding review. But yeah, I think this shirt is not going to make it to stay in my wardrobe. But whatever. I don't want it now. We done got through it. But if I keep pulling on it, that's because I just don't want something to slip out. But anyway, replay watchers, I love y'all so much, y'all. But please, 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 even if you don't stay for the whole video, just smash the like button. Smashing the like button gives YouTube the idea that we're going to put her in front of more people, right? Or people are liking her content. I have a lot of people that come and watch the video or click on the video, but they don't like it. I have people that even commented and they don't smash the like button. The like button is very important, y'all. It lets YouTube know to put me in the algorithm. So even if you don't stay for my whole live, my whole videos, please smash the like button. Please, please, please smash the like button. And please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I know it's very much possible. It's very much possible. I love the way my channel is growing. It's growing organically. And I love it. And so I love y'all so much. I love doing content. I love doing lives. I love doing YouTube. And so for me to stay relevant, for me to get out in front of more people and everything, please smash the like button. And that's all I ask. And it's free. It don't cost y'all nothing. It don't cost y'all nothing to subscribe. And it don't cost y'all nothing to smash the like button. So if you come across my channel, even if you don't want to hear everything I got to say, just smash the like button and you can get out. I don't even care. And smash the subscribe button and you get out. I don't care. But it's free 99. It don't cost y'all nothing. Just please support your girl because I do have a lot of great content I want to put out to you all. I want to reach others. I want to encourage others. Like, I really, really love my channel and I love doing this and I love y'all so much. Okay? So, with all that being said, that was the end of my review. I will be back on to deliver more content. I have some story times that I need to get out. I probably will come back in like an hour, maybe a little more than an hour, and do a story time video for y'all. And yeah, I have other story times. I do Let's Talk About It when I pick a topic and we discuss it. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm probably going to get back to the Let's Talk About It. And yeah, just go ahead and view my channel. And if I'm a vibe for you and you love it and you like it, go ahead and make sure you subscribe and share my video to your friends and family so that they can subscribe as well. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining the live. Whoever joined, shout out to the replay watchers. Thank y'all for watching. Until we meet again. Bye, y'all.